What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another video lesson today. It's Friday afternoon here, December 5th, and we're still in the middle of the trading day. It is 2 o'clock in the afternoon. We have a few hours left in the market before the end of the market day. So I wanted to take this opportunity to film a quick video lesson about a stock CRWD. It should be of no surprise to anyone. Most people either know about this company or have traded this stock already. It's in a very, I guess, in-demand sector right now. And it's certainly a stock that I wanted to review, not only because of its sector, but also because of its setup. I think this is a very interesting setup for a stock going into the end of December as well as the start of 2026. So I wanted to review this as a potential 2026 play, even though it's still early December. If this stock continues to move in the direction that I'm hoping it'll move, then it could make for a great play going into January. So I'm just going to jump right into the chart here. There was actually one thing first. There was a news article that came out yesterday. It was a kind of a bullish take on what CRWD looks like going forward. I think a lot of people are in the same boat about the trajectory of where the stock can go. But this company here, or this publication, Insider Monkey, basically put together a spread talking about some of the bullish features or features of the company that make it appealing as a potential long trade and a potential strong runner for 2026. So I'm not going to go through the whole article, but it starts off by talking about what the company does and who they are, and its focus on agentic AI, which has been a big part of 2025 with this Gen AI, agentic AI trend, among other companies as well, not just CRWD. And then it goes into some stats around like subscribers and ARR, annual recurring revenue, which is a big KPI in the software space. Any company that is in the software industry, they tend to look at annual recurring revenue as a important factor for success and growth. So anyways, this article is basically very bullish, as the title implies. And I think anyone who has read this article, among other articles that have been published, will start to develop a bullish theory about where this company can go in the next couple of weeks, couple of months sort of thing. So all that to say, I think CRWD is setting up to be a really good stock for 2026. Today is not, ignore what today looks like for a minute. But this stock is up on the year, basically. From a 1 year standpoint, this stock is up a lot, and it's had a pretty strong growth trend throughout the year. Clearly, the 1 year story is very bullish. And if any of you have watched my previous videos on other companies that I cover, other stocks that I look into, this is the first point of analysis that I look at, is I look at the 1 year chart. And I'm basically trying to understand, how has this company traded in the past? Where are the buyers? Where are the short sellers, if any? And what are some key levels that have held up in the past? So looking back to late 2024, the stock basically consolidated for the latter part of 2024, and it started out 2025 on that same theme. But as I said before, with Gen AI and agentic AI being a key theme this year across many companies in the software space, this company rallied and progressed very well in its price and in its overall performance because of its inclusion of Gen AI into its business model. And so, going into mid-January, the stock actually tested the 340 support zone again after testing it once, twice, 3 times beforehand, and it held this level, but now it went on a run. So from 340, it was able to go on a run up to the 455 zone. So basically almost $100 worth of price action in basically a month and a half, with only a small consolidation zone here going into early February. And then it had some pullback where it actually retracted back to its original support zone, and then it held again. So this is a good opportunity to draw out some of those key levels here, just for reference, right? Because I'm talking about this 340 zone, and it tapped once, twice, three times, four times, five times, six times, and then seven times. So this is why we look at the 1-year chart. We're trying to basically level set, where are the buyers? Whether it's institutional buying or retail buying, which for a company this high priced, I would suspect that there is a combination of both retail and institution buying. This is a key level that is important to all traders. So it should be a key level on your chart as well. It's not to say that the stock may return back to this price going into 2026, but it is important to just know, just in the back of your mind, where are the buyers and where are the short sellers, right? Another key level that we already just kind of talked about here is this level where the stock made a resistance zone, which was the 455 price level. So this is where the stock couldn't quite break above back in mid-February. And that's when, buyers were becoming sellers, and there was potentially some kind of short selling that was happening at this price. So price came down, and then it kind of consolidated again in the same kind of price zone. It's actually interesting here. If we kind of draw the upper bound of this zone, you can see the stock has consolidated there twice. So this is another key level, right? This 389 level has tapped once, twice. So once here, twice here, and then three times here. And then it goes into the next zone, which is between 389 and this 455 level, right? You can see the stock couldn't break above here, pulled back, and then it went on a run again, starting in April, and it was able to break above the upper bound of this consolidation zone and get into now the 389, 390 price level. And then what happened here now, which confirms some bullish trend reversal, is that it was able to break above the previous resistance level of 455. And one thing I've talked about in previous videos as well is this idea of when resistance becomes support. When a resistance level becomes a support level, that's a very bullish sign, because it means that there is more buying and more buying volume than there is selling or short sell volume. And that's why the buyers are able to take out the sellers and the short sellers to push the price higher. So that's why it pushed past and pushed above 455 and was able to go on a run up to a new price level, which was the 52-week high at this point in time, which was 513 rather. So at 513, the stock couldn't go any higher, and it created another resistance zone here. So you guys are starting to get the idea, I hope, as to how to analyze and look for these support and resistance levels. Because for the purpose of this video, I want to take a step back and look at the overall trend, right? Because if I look at, this price action over the course of 12 months, it's showing me a very kind of ABCD kind of setup that I talk about with small caps, where the stock, isn't giving back all of its gains. It's able to stair step, and it's able to go from one support zone to another support zone to another support zone, and it just keeps moving up in price. And to be honest, the stock hasn't really had any, major one-day pullbacks, two-day pullbacks, anything like that. It's been a pretty stable stock so far. And going into the most recent 3 months of price action here from September till December, you can see it's now in a place that it looks like it's setting up for another bullish run. The stock made another high, which is the 52-week high here at 561. It has pulled back, but you can see it had these inverted hammer candles down here. So it's a very bullish sign. When the stock can't hold its, it can't hold its lower end of price. That's a very weird way of saying that. But if the stock goes down in price, but it doesn't hold down there and closes higher, that's bullish, because it means that the market makers are executing the sell orders or the short sell orders at this price, and then taking the price back up where longs are getting in and pushing the stock higher. So when I see things like this, on the 21st of November, and then again on the 3rd of December, where you have these inverted hammer candles, it's showing a very bullish sign. And there's also a support zone here at 474, where the stock tapped once, twice, three times, and four times, and could not break below that price over the past 3 months. So it is showing a pretty good, strong bullish setup for a potential breakout again in the next couple of weeks. Because if you just look at the trend here, the stock has a history of creating new 52-week highs, right? If I go back to like the 1 year setup here, right? It broke above this 1 year 52-week high in May, and then it created a new high over here. And then now in late October, early November, it went on a run and went above this 514 level and created a new high in the mid fives up to the high fives, with the 52-week high now being 564. So the reason why I think this could be a great stock to put on your watch list for later this month and going into 2026 is this is a company that a lot of traders know about. It's a very active stock. It has a lot of volume. It has a 1 year setup that is conducive to a very bullish type of setup, bullish type of stock. And the stock has a history of making new 52-week highs and holding those highs. And there's probably a lot of institutional buying happening in this company as well because it's in a hot sector. So if this stock can continue to move to the upside, I would be setting a price level somewhere here, somewhere between the 550 up to 563 zone. And that would be my alert. So if I'm looking to go long, which I think is the only way to take this stock, in my opinion, I would be waiting until I see it prove that it can go above 550. And then I would be looking to buy this stock when it breaks above 550, using my 550 level as my risk, and then taking this long to hopefully see this breakout and create a new 52-week high above 566, potentially even getting to that $600 price level. Going into the December trading month, it tends to be a more active trading month for a lot of retail traders. I can't speak about institutions, but from a retail standpoint, November, December, even January, those tend to be more active trading months in the year. There's more people that want to trade. There's more people that want to try and make money. So I think if that comes true, we obviously can't confirm that yet, but if that does come true, then we should see more volume in stocks like CrowdStrike rather, stocks like Amazon, Google, others like that. And we should see more volume come in, hopefully some more bullish sentiment to help push this stock up higher, and price target being 550 for that. Could this be a potential short? I mean, maybe. The stock does have a history of pulling back as well. I just, going into the end of the year and into early next year, if your goal is to be a short-term kind of day trader, you could make a case for going short if the stock can break below 515 going into the end of today, or perhaps going into Monday, Tuesday. If the stock does break below 515, it's showing that it can break down a little bit, so maybe there is some profit to be made on the short side. But if you're a longer term swing trader, longer term investor, to me this is a company that would be a better buy long term than a potential short. So with that, I hope this video lesson helps. We're in the process of now planning for 2026. So this could be a great stock to put on your watch list if it can prove itself. Having a plan is great, but ultimately the stock price action, volume, catalyst, they have to present themselves to you first as a trader for you to have the confidence to go long and hold the stock. So hope this video helps, guys. Thank you very much for watching, and have a great rest of your day.